What's going on, guys? I hope you're all doing well today, and welcome back to the channel. So, we're going to be talking about Bitcoin, and we're going to see where we're at. We're going to talk about my trades, when I'm going to start buying into this little dip that we have right now. Because short term, I am still very bullish on Bitcoin short term. Now, on the macro term, on the larger scale, I do think Bitcoin is going to see a new low. I don't think 57K is the bottom. Now, I could be wrong on that, but that's a different topic for a different video, but I don't think the low was in. So assuming that, okay, long term, I still have to be very cautious. I can't just, dollar cost average, into this too heavily. I want to go ahead and preserve my capital and maintain my risk. So let's go ahead and get right into this, guys. So Bitcoin is doing exactly what I said it was going to do. I truly thought, at the time that I was looking at this little left shoulder, and then it came, the first target was 67K, and then came all the way back down, failed, and made a new low at 57K. Right when I saw that, I'm like, okay, this looks like a inverse head and shoulders. Now, an inverse head and shoulders, guys, is a very bullish pattern for any type of chart, market structure on any chart. Okay, so as of right now, Bitcoin fell out of this trend line right here, right? I drew this trend line on purpose so that way we know when Bitcoin loses the trend. And so far, it's lost that trend. And at this point, it's in this engulfing candle for the day. And if we look at the volume for the day, it's a red day so far, hasn't closed. There's about 2.5 hours before it closes. But I assume this is going to close as a red day. I'm expecting Bitcoin to go lower for tomorrow and maybe the next, couple days until we find like a little bit of a relief rally, which I think will be the one that's going to break out of this inverse head and shoulders pattern and go back up to 67 and possibly up to 72. Now, I want a dollar cost average into about 60 grand to 59,000. We can see a liquidity sweep of that at this, level. Now, of course, nothing is certain. We always have to always be prepared for every scenario. So I'm prepared for every scenario. So let's say Bitcoin goes all the way down here, right? And then it gets a little bit of a bounce, but then it just fails, gets a little bounce, and makes new lows, okay? That could happen, okay? That's called risk management, right? You always have to be prepared for every single move, any type of probability, okay? That's what I'm preparing for, just in case my trade does not work out, right? However, if it works out the way I think it will work out, let me just go ahead and remove this because this is in the way. This is basically forming an inverse head and shoulders. I think it comes down, it bottoms out at like, I don't know, the 60 grand, and then it starts making its way back up. It breaks this trend line resistance, right? And then it goes back up to 67 to 60 or to 72. So buying at 60, anywhere from 60,000 to 59,000 is somewhere I'm going to dollar cost average a little bit into and try to catch this move. Okay, I'm trying to catch this move, guys. It's a short-term play that can last for a couple weeks, right? This is what swing trading is, guys. This is what swing trading is, right? So that's what I'm doing right now with my trades. I am waiting. I'm still 100% cash. Have not bought yet. And Bitcoin's playing out exactly the way that I predicted so far. So that's pretty much it, guys. I mean, I don't use these indicators. If you look at the RSI right now for the daily, it's at 44. So it's still, there's not that much divergence yet. There's not divergence at all to the upside. So that signals that it can go a lot lower to maybe even 59, and maybe it'll wick down to 58. You never know, right? Got to be prepared for each scenario. I don't really use indicators. I just use trend lines, and I just wait. So, or I use trend lines, and I just build this little channel between 57 and 67. That's the channel that we're currently in right now for Bitcoin. So that's pretty much it, guys. Things are playing out the way I thought. This is an engulfing candle, which signals that there's not that much demand for this right now. So more than likely, price is going to go lower. So I'm anticipating that for the next coming days. Anyways, guys, I hope you got something from this video. Hope you learned something. Do not copy my trades. It's not financial advice. This is just my This is my opinion. This is just my own trades. Anyways, guys, hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.